So, you've decided to become an edge runner, a merc for hire willing to take the nastiest gigs for the right price. Thing is, you've got 500 eddies, no cyberware, no guns, nothing. Hell, just the other day you were a cubicle rat on the bottom floor, but you hit the corporate ceiling early on. So what do? Well, the first obvious step is to get a gun, but you're clueless as to where to start looking. I mean, after all, you were the most oblivious Night City citizen on the planet. Well, time to revise that first step because your first step should be to take that 500 eddies you got and find a fixer. Fixers are the person who knows a guy who knows a guy. Need a job? Fixer. Need a gun? Fixer. Need some black lace to take the edge off after a rough gig? Fixer. They'll find what you need, of course, for the right price, and that skill comes with their role ability, operator. With the fixer, we see a return to standard fare. It looks just like the media, the lawman, and the rocker boy, in that starting at the bottom, you'll know almost nobody. Your reach isn't far, and you can't really do much. There's also a tier system in the ranks where you'll gradually gain more of these things as you progress, specifically similar to the media class previous. As such, I'll be taking the same approach as the media class, in that we'll look at ranks 1 and 2, then ranks 9 and 10. This will also likely be a short video, as the fixer is the shortest class in the book. As usual, we'll begin with a quote. Looking at page 159, it goes, "Fixers know how to get things on the black market and are adept at navigating the complex social customs of the street, where hundreds of cultures and economic levels collide. Fixers maintain vast webs of contacts and clients." Like I said earlier, the fixer knows a guy who knows a guy. However, they don't just pop up knowing everyone. The relationships made through transaction history likely took years to build up. That's years of making sure every gig goes off without a hitch, every item delivered successfully to its client. This reputation is what presents us with the social divide between a character like Rogue and a character like Kirk Sawyer in 2077. 9 times out of 10, Rogue's customer satisfaction is guaranteed, while Kirk is known to be an absolute flop in the business. I quote, "Why you working with Kirk? Only gonks work with Kirk." Again, as is standard fare, we have 4 items to take into account when progressing our fixer: contacts, reach, haggle, and grease. Starting with contacts. Contacts represent who the fixer can reach out to in order to source goods, favors, or information. The fixer will still have to pay for these, of course. The guys you know and the guys they know. Next is reach. Reach is the highest price category of items that a fixer can always source, and if they can use their influence to gather other fixers into creating a night market, which makes price categories of items available to them for a short time. Briefly, night markets are like massive hidden bazaars that pop up to sell illicit goods like weapons, ammo and armor, cyberware, military vehicles, all the way down to illicit substances. All stolen, of course. Next is haggle. Haggle is where we finally start to see some rolling come into play. Haggle is the ability of the fixer to strike a deal. When haggling with a person, you roll cool plus trading skill plus your operator rank plus a D10. And that goes up against their cool, their trading skill, their operator rank, if they're a fixer, and their D10. If you succeed, you can make 1 deal of your operator rank or lower. Only 1 fixer deal can be made per transaction, and there's not really much to break down here, so moving on. The final item that we have to take into account is grease. Grease represents the fixer's ability to blend into the many cultures on and off the street. The ability to know the language, the social codes, and status marks for each group or culture. This is where you begin to build your network. Knowing the ins and outs of each group can, again, make the difference between a rogue or a Kirk. So with those terms defined, we can move on to looking at the ranks both at the beginning and at the end. I personally prefer looking at the beginning ranks and comparing them to the ending ranks because I feel it gives you something to work towards, even if the character dies anyway. At operator ranks 1 and 2, your contacts and clients would be a local honcho, gang lord, or local neighborhood leadership. Your reach. You can always find a place to source cheap and everyday items for your clients on a piece-by-piece basis, even if they are otherwise unavailable. The haggle skill. If successful, you can get 10% more or less than market price when buying or selling. Your grease. You know the cultural ins and outs of your immediate neighborhood, including all local gangs. Moving on to the later ranks. At Operator Rank 9, your contacts and clients include divisional corp heads, state or city zone politicos, or well-known celebrities. Your reach. You can always find a place to source up to luxury items for your clients on a piece-by-piece basis, even if they are otherwise unavailable. When you set up a night market, you can choose to additionally set up a midnight market inside it, which gathers the leadership of the criminal underworld. The haggle skill. If successful, you can get 20% more or less than market price when buying or selling. And your grease. You know how to blend in perfectly with not only many cultures in your area, but also with corporate and governmental agencies. And finally, at Operator Rank 10, your contacts and clients are major world leaders, major corporation heads, world-famous celebrities. Your reach. You can always find a place to source up to super luxury items for your clients on a piece-by-piece basis, even if they are otherwise unavailable. The haggle skill. If successful, you can negotiate up to double the pay per person for a dangerous job. And your grease. You can blend in seamlessly with almost any group, including very specialized or tight groups such as secret societies, cults, or exclusive membership groups. A couple of things to take note of when playing this class as well. You don't get the ability to set up a night market until rank 5, and that's where you'll begin to have the ability to source super luxury items. The first 4 ranks specifically deal with sourcing items for discounts as well. What I mean is that the Fixer class doesn't exactly open up until rank 5. Personally, I feel like the Fixer class is a set of guidelines for setting up an NPC with that title versus an actual class. As for a suggestion of how to roleplay the character, well, think of the shadiest dealer you can and try to emulate him in roleplay. You know the type. Standing in some back alley spinning the yarn of, I got what you need. And also, don't be a Kirk Sawyer. Thank you all so much for watching this. I know it was probably a relatively short in comparison to my other class breakdowns, but the Fixer class is a very short, very concise class. I mean, if the Buddha pick on page 159 were removed, you could fit the entirety of the class on that one page. Also, I mean, all respect to Buddha, though. At any rate, if you enjoyed the video, please consider giving me a like and your subscription, as it would very, very much help me out. I'm starting to see a bit of growth, and it's been really motivating. And it's all because of you guys, so thank you. I love you all, and I'll see you later.